Now, I've got 10 points, and it won't take long, and I'll tweet them to you because I understand that the average American attention span is now limited to 140 or so characters. So if you could put number 10 up, that'd be great. Number 10. Yeah, it's a metaphor. Over the next 3 years, the law school will teach you most of what you need to succeed as an attorney. You have to do the rest. With the school's training in your effort, you have immense potential to do good, to contribute to society, and to honor your chosen profession. Someone you might have heard of, Justice Brandeis, said, "Those of you who feel drawn to this profession may rest assured that you will find it an opportunity for usefulness, which is probably unequaled." Translation, you can do a lot with a JD. Some of you already love the law, and you will find home working within its confines. Some of you dislike the law and want to change it. Some of you want to right wrongs. Hopefully, none of you will do wrong. Some of you will make a lot of money with your JD. Some of you not so much. Your salary does not define your legal skill nor your usefulness. Do not be afraid to take up a cause, a pro bono case, a 1983 action, or to be a public servant. Do not be too proud to take a job for the experience, not the paycheck. And do not be ashamed to live off of your parents while you find your niche. You have to work at failure. It's good, there's no comments to my comments. You have to work at failure. Now, did anyone here know that Leonardo da Vinci's last words were, "I've offended God and mankind because my work did not reach the quality it should have"? And for me, that's kind of scary, because if that's how Leonardo felt, what chance do you and I have? Failure's like success. You have to work at it. You may even need help from others in reaching your goal. The law school is here to teach you, but you must own your education. You have to put in the time. Law school, unlike a school for the arts, does not require a whole lot of talent, just effort. You have to try. Loud and clear. Law school started yesterday, not a week or a month from now. There's no grace period, no window for transition. Hit the ground running. As a law student, you will quickly learn that you will not succeed if you are lazy. You must try. You will also learn that it's relatively easy, even at $43,000 a year, to enlist others in the enterprise of failure. While it's easy to condemn Professor Bell's 8-hour take-home torts examination, you'll see, I urge you to put it in the time and not to celebrate defeat. However, if your goal is to end a promising legal career before it begins and to lose all of your friends along the way, here are some pointers. Make sure that everyone you meet knows immediately that you are in law school and in turn are not someone to be messed with. You know the law because you're close to the books. Never ask questions. Dumb people ask questions. Smart people keep quiet and make mistakes. Make sure you never admire someone else's work, someone else's, in my business, verdict, someone else's argument made in class, contract drafted, whatever it may be. If you didn't do it, it can't possibly be good. Be a clone. Surround yourself only with law students and lawyers. Think of life like a house of mirrors. Everywhere you look, you see yourself. Think like a sheep. And it's not a coincidence that the first animal cloned was a sheep. As Margot Kaufman put it, people hate sheep, they eat sheep. Don't be a sheep. Attention to detail is universally perceived as the key to success. Likewise, inattention to detail will pay immediate dividends in the opposite direction. Pay attention to detail. Do not get dressed in the dark for a job interview, meaning wear a dark suit and a white shirt or blouse. No pink, no purple, no paisley, no seersucker. Press your shirt, shine your shoes. I know, it's common sense. Do not append your mantra, whatever it may be, to the end of your email. I'm a plaintiff's lawyer. My firm represents families who've been devastated by loss. A slogan in the footer of your email advocating for tort reform will not be well received by my office. Do not click reply all ever. Who here has Tiger Text on their iPhone? Anybody know about Tiger Text? All right, delete it. It's a bad idea. Google it. for those of you with data plans. Do not send a letter to your client with his or her name spelled wrong. Do not send a letter to a potential employer or judge with his or her name spelled wrong. Most importantly, do not send a letter with your own name spelled wrong. Do not be late. Do not be unprepared. Worse, do not be late and unprepared. You can always be wrong. Gasp, lawyers make mistakes. We're human. We make incorrect assumptions. Be humble, because many people out there want us to be wrong. We've all heard lawyer jokes, and we can laugh at them, and they can be funny. But these days, even kids get this sort of stuff. Just a few weeks ago, I was watching Muppet Treasure Island with my son, who, knowing that I'm a lawyer, giggled when Polly Lobster said, "I could have been a lawyer, but I had too much heart." My son is 3. I looked around on this point to see if I could poach some brilliance from somebody famous, somebody far, far more accomplished than me. And I stumbled upon a quote from a gentleman named John W. Davis. Some of you may recognize his name. For those who don't and haven't already used the unlimited data plan to Google him, Davis defended segregation in Brown versus Board of Education. Now, on lawyers, Davis said, and it's good, "We build no bridges, we raise no towers, we construct no engines. There is little of all that we do which the eye of man can see. But we smooth out difficulties, we relieve stress, we correct mistakes. We take up other men's burdens, and by our efforts make possible the peaceful life of men in a peaceful state." Good quote, but don't be like Davis. He believed so strongly in states' rights that he never stopped to see what it was that he was fighting for. He never saw the forest through the trees. Don't be like Davis and end up on the wrong side of history. All right, number 6, people make mistakes. It's learn to speak a foreign language. In high school, I learned Latin because I thought it would help me increase my vocabulary, and I guess it did. But it's difficult to have a conversation in Latin unless you're at the Vatican. And it's another metaphor, all right? Observe the people around you, your audience. I did to come here and speak today. Learn to speak their language. Now, depending upon your background, sports can be another language. Music can be another language. To me, defense lawyers speak another language. Those who speak many languages are less likely to be perceived as outsiders. Outsiders are trusted less. They seldom receive the benefit of the doubt and are less likely to succeed. Whilst the large law firms, there's people in the back who can speak to this, and large companies hire local counsel. They don't want to be perceived as outsiders. Avoid being an outsider. Look, we all went to law school and we're now lawyers because I think we want to win. And playing to win is one of the finest things you can do. It enables you to fulfill your potential, to improve your niche in the world, and conveniently to develop very high expectations for those around you. We all want to win, but hopefully as a means, not an end. And to win is different than to beat your opponent, whether a fellow law student here or a colleague out there. Beating one's opponent is to win without dignity, without collegiality. Once beaten, most of us seek revenge. And it's never good to be on the receiving end of revenge, to be gunned for, to be sought out for failure, and to be the target of someone else's burning desire to stand at the top of the hill at your expense. As a lawyer or a law student, accomplishments are fleeting. In reality, you are only as good as your next accomplishment, your next verdict, your next merger or acquisition. While you are patting yourself on the back, someone is maneuvering to tie your hands behind your back. Do not make people want to prevent your next accomplishment. Win with grace. Playing to win does not mean playing dirty. As you start your legal careers, you will find that things change from absolute to relative. Preserve and obey the absolutes, especially because it will be your job in a few short years to uphold the laws, to shape the laws, to enforce the laws, stretch the laws, make new law. Now, when you were very young, it was absolutely wrong to lie, cheat, or steal. It still is. Even if a client is paying you by the hour, The fact that your opponent failed to cite a controlling case in a brief does not mean you can misrepresent the holding. The fact that you withdrew less client funds than your partner does not make it okay. There absolutely are absolute rights and absolute wrongs. If you never lie, cheat, or steal, you will never have to remember who you lied to, how you cheated, or what you stole. In this room in the back, mostly, are 30, 40, 50 alumni from all around the country, all more experienced than me, all far more accomplished than me. We all have the College of Law in common, and we're here today because we support you through time and through finance. 71% of last year's class received institutional financial aid. We support you. Our alumni are diverse. They sit on the board of trustees and the board of advisors. They run Fortune 500 companies. They protect justice. They dispense justice. They help run the United States of America. Or in my case, I help put lives back together after an unavoidable tragedy. It's a much smaller scale than most people in this room. We have an excellent alumni association called SULA. It's a diverse group with active branches around the country. Join. Like the Law School's Office of Professional Development, run by Kim Wolf-Price, consider SULA a resource. Call upon us to assist you. Call upon Kim to assist you. We will, and she will. It's a sort of a hodgepodge. Do not stand in the corner. Announce yourself. We're all adults. Introduce yourself. Do not avoid difficult assignments, difficult cases. Write articles. Give speeches. Teach. Get involved in politics, but do not be the controversy. Take on civic responsibilities. Do not fly below the radar. Do not practice anonymity. Attach your name, our degree, and this diploma to everything. The last one. Your diploma is my diploma, and vice versa. Please don't goof it up. At each stage of my career, I've done my very best to increase the value of the diploma you'll receive someday. At White & Case, I spent a bunch of time in Asia, in Europe, and South America, yay for me. And I moved to California for a few months to partake in a trial out there. And we often left on a moment's notice, and were gone for weeks at a time. And the job and the salary, sure, came at great personal sacrifice. I did the document review, combed through the deposition transcripts, pulled the all-nighters to send faxes to who knows where. And occasionally, I was the sacrificial lamb they sent to argue a motion that could not be won. And I honored my charge for a couple of different reasons. It was only 10 years ago I sat where you are. First, selfishly, I did my job because I wanted to win. More often and with more fanfare than many seemingly entitled associates with Ivy degrees believing they were heir apparent to partnership. I was not about to let that happen. And second, because I knew that many alumni before me had put in the time to open the doors, and I did not want to be the reason the door closed. After White & Case, I came back here to Syracuse, and I spent some time at Bond, Schoeneck & King, an excellent firm, great people, and with many alumni from this school. And I spent not so much time in China, more some time in North Dakota, a smaller firm, but with the same basic drill and the same goals. Advance my career and increase the value of our diploma. And now I'm on my own. I'm with my father's firm, and I spend a lot of time in Utica and Watertown, New York. China to Utica. Google Utica. But now I'm nearly always in a courtroom, and at least so far it feels most like home. Find your home. Find your favorite job. It doesn't have to be the job you always dreamed of. It should be the best one that you've ever had to date. And wherever you end up, same goals as me. Advance your career and increase the value of our diploma. And I'll continue to do that. I'll do everything I can to make sure the degree you get in 2013 will be a valuable asset to you. All I ask in return is that you do what you can to make sure the diploma I received in 2003 remains a valuable asset to me. Thank you.